Hello and welcome back to Blackfeather Guild. We're going to do Fleshmaker's Folly, our second episode, and it's going to be pretty fun to see what happens with all this cake business. Before we jump in to meet the cast and start the story, though, I want to talk real quickly about viewer actions. So there's a number of different ways that you can actually participate in the show from the audience. One of the easiest ways to do so is with the game tweet, which is just now there in chat. For every 10 interactions, that's likes, retweets, and comments, a D4 goes to the cast and the DM to use on any rolls that they would like. That's a great way to boost a roll's number a little bit, especially if you're just shy of a DC. So that's one of the easiest ways to do so. Other ways that you can interact or participate in the show are through guild coins. You can see a few examples of what you can get right here with those. You get guild coins just by watching the stream. Subscribers do get them at twice the rate, but they are earned through Twitch itself. If you look at the little round rainbow-colored icon right below your Twitch chat box, you'll see your total, as well as all the different things that you can use those on. There's also a description of plot points, full description, in the panels down below. But basically what plot points do, they allow you to add to the scene, change things in the scene, or even potentially remove things from a scene as it's happening. The DM does always have final say on what gets put in, but we will try to stay as close as possible to your suggestions. And essentially, it goes from a small change to a large one, depending on how many plot points you get. So that's another way. Finally, if you want to donate or contribute to the channel, there's a number of different ways that you can do that, and they have their own little cool things that come with them. If you look at this chart right over here, coffee.com/Raven or Raven.rocks work for direct donations. You can also do subscriptions or bits, or you can subscribe through Patreon, which is in chat now. Our Bard tier patrons and higher get $15 worth of, well, the Bard tier starts at $15. It goes up from there. Basically, whatever the tier is, the price is on that, that's how much you'll get in viewer action credit every month to spend on this chart right here, on any game that you like. A lot of these are somewhat self-explanatory, but I do want to do a quick review. The switch allows whoever uses it to tell another player, and that can be the DM, to change the action word on what they just said they were going to do. and the player that it's used on has to choose a different verb that's not a direct synonym. To give you an example, if the bard is trying to seduce the dragon, another player could throw that out and say, switch it, and they have to do something other than seduce, and it can't be something synonymous like flirt, for example. Um, Roll with advantage and a reroll are both involve rolling twice and taking the higher of the results. However, a reroll can be used after the roll, whereas an advantage has to be used before the roll. So the rerolls are just a little bit more powerful. Complication is a lot like plot points, except you get pretty much free reign, 1 to 3 sentences. Just type it out and chat what you would like to change, add, or remove from a scene, and we will do our best to get that in there. Again, the DM does have final say. They may edit it a little bit to make it fit the story a little bit better, or if it's something super game breaking, like instantly killing the big bad evil guy, obviously we'd need to work around that. So there may be some edits, but we'll try to stick as close as possible to your suggestions. Swapping 2 players for 5 minutes means they swap characters. So you can have 2 different cast members playing each other's characters, or somebody swapping seats with the DM for 5 minutes. It's pretty fun. And then the 1-up just means if the character would go unconscious or otherwise die, rather than doing that, they come back at 1 hit point. So it's a way that they get a little extra fighting chance to survive something. And they're really good if you have a character that you particularly want to see survive. That's about it from me. So we're going to go meet the cast. I'm going to hand everything over to Michael, and then I will see you all after the game. Enjoy.
And welcome to Fleshmaker's Folly. I am Michael Wayne, and I shall be the Grandmaster orchestrating things. And here are the great players below. Now, would you care to introduce yourselves, or shall we go counterclockwise, starting with Otto?
I'm Eshi. I'll be playing Otto, the wild sorcerer changeling, agent of the newspaper, we'll say. Uh, Here to cause chaos, make news.
Hi, I'm Hell, or Zen if you want to use my actual name. I'll be playing the cleric/druid, here to keep everybody alive and make sure nobody dies, and to also make sure everybody gets a nice face full of ugly spores.
I'm Par, or Jin, the Earth Genasi barbarian, here to provide muscle as they report on the stories around.
Hi, I'm Nuya. I'm playing a very flamboyant and dramatic, in every sense of the word, Kenku, ranger. His name is Thespia, and he's, well, I guess having fun in his own way.
And thank you very much. Now, as we come back in, we have the establishing shot of our 4 players, and since I believe it's been about more than a week, let's get a reminder of what these beautiful players' characters look like. Starting with our dear Otto.
Otto is usually a medium build, relatively average looking person, covered in various layers of multicolored and variously worn clothes, usually with some kind of scarf or collar up above the nose, so only half the face is visible. Bright green eyes and kind of short, scraggly hair.
Thank you, Dell.
Del is a man of average height, short, slick back brown hair that goes down the side of his face into a nice pair of mutton chops. Usually wears a simple straw hat with a pair of crystal spectacles, maybe smoking a hand-rolled cigar. Two long pointy ears, clad in well-worn brown leather armor, with a slight greenish tint to it around the straps and cracks of it, as well as a buckler on his left arm that houses a small little ecosystem on the underside of it.
Thank you very much, Chin.
Jin, the Earth Genasi, has forest green skin, brown eyes, and his hair is short and spiky, more of a light green color. He's usually found to be wearing just a regular, sort of tattered tunic type of shirt, some slacks, and a pair of sandals with great halberd on his back.
Thank you very much, Thespia.
Thespia is a Kenku. He's a masked individual with a black cloak covering most of his body with red silk lining on the inside. A black merchant hat has a point like a bird's beak and a large maroon feather that turns purple near the end. And his velvet mask covers his eyes and protrudes across his upper beak with a design that resembles like a smiling and frown face. You see a tuxedo between his cloak and a detailed red vest, black pants, and he carries a large crossbow and a rapier, both very ornate.
Thank you. Now, would anyone like to reveal what had happened last time, previously on Dragon Ball Z?
I think I've
Billy
got that
Human
underway.
was not human.
I've actually got a whole thing prepped.
Okay.
Okay.
Since Thespia is going with, Ada was it? Is going with it. They will get an advantage on their first roll for her getting to reveal what happened last time.
Okay, so since we're newspaper folk, I've presented this in relatively newspaper-oriented jargon. Dateline nowhere. After a brief foray under the watchful eyes of the local constabulary, we ventured off into the quaint and curious village of Nowhere. There we tried the mystifying miniature pies of Mackenberry Delights. Be sure to temper your excitement when deminiaturizing your pies, as overzealous attempts can result in pie-related complications. After following the trail of confectionery aggression and territorial graffiti, we came across the lair of the saccharine skulldugger Bill the Human, who ended up being some sort of infernal cake beast. After a not insubstantial bout of pastry pummeling and a brief aside to murder some incidental evil chickens, we came across
Huzzah! We are back.
Just long enough to sit through an ad.
Damn you, capitalism!
Damn your advertisements.
I keep telling you, the enemy of us all.
It's the government, man. They're sending brainwaves through these advertisements.
Gotta get my tinfoil hat on.
Well, that would interfere talking to Winifred because they are talking inside your head, communicating telepathically, thanking you for freeing them from the locked closet.
So, what's the deal with the bee gauntlet?
Oh, yeah, this little fella's here. It's like I saved them. They've been capturing the rest of their friends and using their honey in such devilish ways.
Who's they?
Well, the baker for one.
The
made
cake fella downstairs?
Yes, made such horrible deals.
Don't worry, he's been thoroughly and truly overbaked.
Well, thank you. There might be one last one.
I met him.
Oh, I hope you're okay. Has he harmed you at all?
He looks kind of out of it. I don't know. I think he might have been a little bit well done.
Oh dear. Well, if one of you can be nice and take my bee friends and help find the rest of them, they'll probably more than willing to help you along the way.
I have some bad experiences with bugs, so I'll pass on that, thanks.
The buzzing gets in the way of my mind palace, if you will.
Nobody? All right, fine, I'll take it.
Okay. And then you now have a gauntlet that has bees. Would you like to put it on?
Yes.
Okay. Now, doing so, you now have the option to, with your spore attacks, to send bees out with them to
Cool.
deliver your spores in a new location. So you don't actually have to touch to send your spores out now.
I didn't have to. Are we talking like a it's now a range attack?
Yes, you can now do long range with your spores.
It was already a ranged attack. It has 10 feet on it. Do you want us to say it adds another 5 feet?
I was saying it's going to do more than that. I'd say it'd be closer to about 30 feet.
Cool.
Yeah. Now, is there anything you guys would like to ask or do? Because there is a long hallway leading into the cake monster.
Oh yeah, I
When you
haven't
said-
mentioned it already. He's already on the other side of that door over there.
Okay, so roughly like when after you get the bee gauntlet, you just disappear after the door.
No, I'm just telling them that I saw him because I checked that other door last session.
Yeah. So, like, are you as a group going to go through that door to take on the cake monster, or are you going to keep talking? What would you like to do?
I was going to ask Winnie about the deals that she was talking about.
Okay. Oh, the horrible deals with the made man.
What do you mean made man? Like a good fella?
I wouldn't call it good, but he certainly was a fella.
What kind of deals are we talking about here?
One that led to such horrible, horrible cakes.
Are the deals as devilish as the cakes are?
I think far worse. I don't even know what happened to Bob.
All this vagueness plagues my mind.
All this vagueness annoys my mind.
Do we want to just go stomp a cake?
That sounds the most direct thing we've ever done, so yes.
Do you think we should see if he'll surrender first?
You will surrender to my blade, of course.
I feel
Not that
like
kind of surrender. Not that kind of surrender. Down, boy. Down, boy.
I feel like it'd be better for the paper if we sorted this more directly.
Right.
So
A slice for me. That sounds very direct.
We're here to get a story after all, and they lived happily ever after is not really conducive to this kind of high pressure market.
What better story than finding out what this cake actually?
Yeah, I think the plan here is horrible, vicious, spongy murder.
Slice, dice, and serve on plates with ice.
Cream.
Oh boy.
Yes, that's what I was getting at.
Yeah.
I would call myself a shameful journalist if we just ignore this wonderful possibility right here.
Hey, while we dice it up, you might be able to get a quote.
What do you imagine an infernal pie or cake is going to say? I mean,
I don't know, but doesn't that make it more interesting?
it does. I feel like infernal spoken through, like, frosting would sound like mud. Just
I think it sounded half-baked. Oh, this article is just going to be an absolute mess of cake puns, isn't it?
I'm going to have a hard enough time convincing them that we didn't just walk into a bakery and get accosted by just a normal cake. We're going to get thrown out of town for destruction of property or something.
Is it destruction of property if it's self-defense?
Would you
'Cause we
believe
got-
somebody who came to you covered in frosting and said, "We just fought a cake golem"?
Everyone in the town seems to know that they have a frost guy as their baker.
Yeah, but we have to convince everybody in our town, too. And they don't have a frosting baker around.
That's why I suggested maybe we take him in alive.
Reminder, like, your articles are basically like, you go to a location, tell about your adventures.
Yeah.
So, like, you stating kind of like, it's less about, much like Hunter S. Thompson, it's less about what you did, but more how. Because this is the entertaining read on the Friday paper right before the weekend. So you do have some wiggle room on, like, if it being 100% true, as long as it's really entertaining.
I'm really tempted to describe it as basically just walking into a normal bakery and just stepping on their cakes dead-eyed, looking them right in the eyes. Just, what are you going to do about it? Wreck your cakes up.
Well, if we do fight this cake, it would be a splendid end to this act, and then we can move on to the intermission.
A dispute with the baker. Oh.
I'm hearing no objections, so I'm going to walk.
I'll follow.
And he walks.
Otto is going to
towards
walk behind Jin.
to that hallway with the cake in it.
Okay, when you open up the door, I would like everyone to roll initiative.
Okay, initiative. Oh, wait, no. Forgot we used to be on 20 for a second. Strong initiative.
So we doing this or not?
Just waiting on Dale's roll.
Okay. Sorry, my headset cut out for a bit.
Rough.
Well, we get the jump on something.
Not that
Okay.
data cake.
Yeah, you just gotta. Yeah. Everyone rolled higher than the cake, so. Okay. First up will be Jin.
Okay, nice, very nice. I'm gonna go into a rage with my bonus action because I don't know what kind of foe we're dealing with. And I'd rather not fall. Too easy.
Nothing makes Jin grumpy like the unknown.
Such a strange time. And then I guess I will slash at it with my halberd.
Okay. Make an attack roll.
All right. Just a normal roll. 22.
Okay. Now, as like you go to slash it, you notice as a reaction, and it splits in half as you're about to slice it.
What?
Next is Dell. What would you like to do?
Well, first I'm going to use my action to activate the symbiotic entity ability. And then as a bonus action, his form is going to bulk up slightly. His arms are going to get a bit longer. His fingers a bit more skinny, long, a bit more ferile as he shifts into his more feral form. And that gives me 6 bonus HP plus 8 from symbiotic entity, as well as doubles my spore damage.
Nice. Though, remind me on the spore damage whenever you use it. So odds
Gotcha.
are I will probably forget that.
Don't worry, I will remember. And that is my action, bonus action, and my turn ends.
So you're not making any attacks?
I've used my action and my bonus action already.
Okay. Next we have is Thespia.
I fire my arrow at it.
Okay, make an attack roll.
And dreadful strike. With an
Okay.
extra 1 to it.
I will tell you the good news in that it cannot split because it already did that once. The other, I think, let me double check on the immunities. No, you are good. That actually does full damage. So it does 13 damage.
And that's it.
Otto.
Otto is curious. We're going to try to use prestidigitation to put out one of the candles on the cake.
Ooh! I would like you to make an Arcana roll.
Oh no. No.
Dang it! I wanted to tell you too. So you just see one of the candles go out. Now, so one of the cakes has 9 candles.
Hmm.
But I will tell you, like, that is something good.
Then I'm going to use my the rest of my turn trying to draw attention.
How are you drawing attention?
Well, Otto isn't very good at combat, so basically going to run out in front and kind of, hey, look at me. Come on. What are you, some kind of pie? What's an insult to a cake? What's an insult to a cake, guys?
You're half baked and taste like ass.
Stop upstaging everyone.
That's just everything now. And that's my turn.
Dang, because, like, if you came up with a better one, I was going to allow you to intimidate it. You want to give yourself another try to see if you
Nope.
can come up with a better? Okay,
Nope,
then.
not that kind of shifter.
Okay, I tried. Okay, it is the cake's turn. And one of the tentacles go after Jin.
Oh,
Ooh,
fun.
this... Yes, this will be fun. Because it is trying to hug you. You
No. No, please.
yes. And because this is just like, it's an, much like a spell, to escape, it's a DC 20.
Easy 20. Okay. Oh, boy. Brutal. Oh.
I believe you. You can do it. You're the strong one. You're the strong being in here. Jin, I believe you can break the
All
hug.
right.
You also had advantage on strength checks.
Is this a
Yes.
Saving throws.
this is strength? Oh, this is
Yeah,
strength.
because
Okay.
you have raged.
It's a grapple.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. So that's a flex.
Strength
Come
check
on.
with advantage.
My rolls can't be that bad, right?
We don't know. You haven't made them yet.
23! It goes to hug you and it misses completely.
Stress. So much stress.
Okay.
Yeah, turn that cake into a pretzel.
Yeah, you just like, heck, the tentacles come at you and you just, with the strength of your own fist, back it away. The other cake is going to go after Thespia. And that one, let's see, that's a bite attack. Let's see if this works. Does an 18 hit Thespia?
Yeah. And I will hellish rebuke it.
Nice. Okay. You take 10 damage. And how much are you going to give it?
3d10 when it wants to work. Wait. No, I need to re-roll that. That's wrong. Well, no, you can just take the 8. I mean, I rolled. I guess it was 4d10 that I rolled.
Yeah.
So 8.
3d10 and was 8.
Yep.
And 5. fire damage. So that's going to be another 13.
No, just 8. The 8 is 3d10.
Yeah, but it has 5
misrolled.
fire,
I
which is
misrolled.
1d10, and then the 8.
Yes, I misrolled.
Okay.
So yeah, just 8.
And you learn this because you relit the candle. Well, you see that it starts to grow. Oh, a little bit. And it will gain 1d10 health back. So that did not work. Like, you damaged it and it just regrowed that bit of cake back.
Why don't you just show me your full power already? How much damage did I take?
Jin, it is your turn.
Sorry, how much damage did I take?
You took 10 damage. Yeah.
Okay.
Because I figure that's going to be easier than when it has 1d10 plus 10. And that just seems mean.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna attempt to smack it, not slash it, smack it with my halberd, the one that tried to hug me.
Yeah.
So,
Turning that, you roll like normal, it just will say it's bludgeoning instead of slashing.
Oh, sorry, the thing didn't pop up for me to roll.
Ooh, does a 13 hit? Yes, a 13 does hit.
That's 13 plus 2 actually, because I'm raging, so I get plus 2 for my rage damage.
Nice. I'll give you an extra 2 if you can give a little bit more description.
Trying to think. I dodge the tentacle and I bring the halberd up and just smack down on top of it. Bad cake.
Nice. Dale, it is your turn.
Dell is going to run up to the one that is being flanked by Thespia and try and are you using flanking rules?
Let's go with no, because I can't remember what that is at the moment.
It's when you're flanking an enemy with another opponent, like you're on opposite sides of it, you gain advantage on the attack.
You know what? Let's just, if you can give more description, I'll give you the advantage.
So I run up to it, and then I slide between its legs and come up, and I hit it in the back of the head with the scimitar, with the guard of my scimitar. Just like a straight right hook.
Okay, I'll give you advantage then.
Okay.
A 15 hits.
Cool. So that's 1d6. So that's 7 slashing damage, and
Are you sure? You said with a butt.
7 bludgeoning damage and 4 poison damage.
Okay.
Before my turn ends, reaction, and it has to make a con 14 saving throw.
Ooh, is it constitutional? Oh, no, it is not! You chose wisely.
5 necrotic damage. As I just salted a little bit with my spores.
I don't think an 8 is strong. Higher.
Instead of throwing my spores in its face, I just kind of salted on top of it as it melts it with the spores.
Yes, and because the spores mess with the yeast, that does double damage.
so 10 necrotic damage.
Yeah, baby. Is that the end of your turn?
Yes.
Thespia, it is your turn.
Hmm. I'm going to reload the crossbow and attack with the rapier and do nothing with it.
No, it just kind of like sidesteps away as you try to poke at the cake. Unfortunately, its many years of being put on a sample plate has made it able to avoid your piercing dagger.
Wait, so because it's been so long stationary on a plate, it's so agile it dodges a rapier stab?
It's been charging its laser that whole time, you know.
Okay.
It's biding its time on the plate.
These are cake rules that I don't understand yet, so we'll just go with it.
You just missed an attack. Let's just go with that.
Literally, I'm just giving description to it because I love me descriptions of things, as you can
I
tell.
love it.
I've never seen a cake move like that before. I'll have to update my strategy here.
Have you ever seen a cake move
I
before
have now.
today?
No, I can't process this at the moment. That's my turn.
Otto.
Otto's going to look frustratedly over at Thespia and be like, put out the candles. Put them out, not set them back up. Prestidigitation.
Okay. You get one. Like, are you sure? Like, you want to
And-
keep doing this? Because
and
it's
then I'm
only getting
going-
one candle.
And then I'm going to look around for the bucket of water that Bill would have needed to make any kind of confectionery.
Okay. That I need you to roll just a plain D20 because you guys are in the storage area. The kitchen would have been downstairs.
Willing to
So-
go downstairs to get it.
No, like just roll a D20.
Sure now, yeah.
Let's see if it happens. You do find a bucket. It just happens to be empty.
I'm gonna go fill this.
Just make a wish, and after you blow out the candle, it's that simple.
I wish that cake was not alive.
You're too late. You gotta try again next time.
For fuck's sake.
I told you what it was. Now it won't come true. Damn it.
Exactly. This is me helping you.
You actually are. I know you're joking, but that's actually close to a thing. So I'll let you guys try to figure that out. Otto, is that the end of your turn trying to find water for this empty bucket?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the end of your turn?
Yeah, it's cake time.
Yeah, baby! One of the cakes. Go for Jim. It's hook time, baby! Give me that DC 20!
Stop this. Stay away from me. I don't even like cake.
You're raging, so you get advantage.
Whew, whew.
You used its own tricks against it, as you had observed it avoid the piercing. You, in fact, avoid the hugging. The hunter has now become the prey. And the other cake, just kind of like a little enraged on Thespia. Just how dare you try to pierce me with the dagger of Sampleton, and we'll go for a bite. Let's see if you can avoid this D20 plus 7. Does a 17 hit you, Thespia?
Yes. It does.
Okay, you take 10 damage. And
Cool.
now we are to the top of the round with Jin.
All right. I'm smacking this one that tried to hug me again. Stay down. So 22, that's 9 plus 2, that's 11 points damage.
Okay, and you are saying it's bludgeoning, correct?
Bludgeoning, yeah. So I smack down again like I'm just trying to try to beat it to pulp.
Beat it, beat it. Have your cake here, you can eat it. Is that the end of your turn?
Yeah, it is.
Dell. Dell, it is your turn. What would you like to do?
Sorry, my mic was muted. I'm going to go low and try and bash its leg out, then come back up and try and bash it again in the back with a Warcaster attack as well for the bonus action.
So that sounds like you want to make 2 attack rolls.
Yep. Do I still have advantage because I described it in flanking?
Yes.
First attack hits.
Yep.
D6 plus 4, so that's 9 bludgeoning damage, as well as 6 poison damage on the first attack, as I bash out at one of its leg with the guard of my scimitar.
Tentacles, but yeah.
And then the second attack is 16 hit.
Yes.
Oh, that would be 18. It's plus 6, not plus 4. And then another 10 bludgeoning damage and 3 poison damage. And at the end of my turn, reaction, another con 14 saving throw.
Oh, and it's not very constitutional. Oh, and that's a 2.
That's another 5, double that to 10 necrotic damage.
One of the cakes does not look well. Thespia, it is your turn. Oh, wait, Dale, you end your turn, correct?
Yes.
Thespia.
I shoot at the cake that is not feeling well, and I will try to remedy it by putting it out of its misery with a dreadful arrow. Finally. 7.
Yeah, 22 does hit. And something that you notice is because you've hit 50 mark so far, that one cake starts to almost dissolve with each hit. And as the candles seem to hit the ground and kind of like are just put out by the mush of the cake kind of almost imploding inwards, you notice the glow on the other cake get a little brighter.
And that is how you defeat the villain. And then I slowly back out the door, As far as I can, using my 30 feet.
Otto, it is your turn. What would you like to do?
If I don't immediately find a ready source of water, I'm just gonna pee in the bucket.
Okay, I'll give you roll a d20 if it's 10 or higher. That works. Okay, that works.
And then if I have anything left for my turn, I'm gonna go back in the room and splash, just douse the other cake.
Okay, I need another d20 because you are not. I don't think you're proficient in.
I'm not proficient in bucket. No.
Yeah.
No, piss bucket is not one of my preferred weapons. And it shows.
Unfortunately, yeah, it misses completely.
Wouldn't this be a deck save though, because it's an area of attack effect?
I was trying to be. If I went that route, it would have been much harder. I was trying to make it as easy as possible.
I do have a potential D4, but that roll is passed.
Oh, if you would like to use it.
I would like to use that D4.
Use it.
Okay, then it works. You just needed a 1. That's all you needed.
Praying under my breath the entire time. Just go out. Just die. Just die. I'm a savory person from now on.
All but one of the candles go out.
Is this on the bad-looking one or the better-looking one?
There's only one left.
The good-looking one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that the end of your turn?
Yeah, that's us.
Okay. The cake is enraged. It actually seems to grow a bit more, almost double in size before going to hug at you. And I need a DC 20, a strength save.
And I need a DC 14 Constitution saving throw because I'm using my reaction as it starts to grow.
Okay. It does not work.
14 necrotic damage.
Good show. It goes back to normal size. You killed what it gained.
Necromancy is truly the power of friendship.
It's my spores, man. It's the spores.
Spore it up.
Oh boy.
I still need that strength DC 20 from you, Otto.
I rolled a 16.
That does not work.
Nope, that wasn't. Yeah, that was it. That was it.
Yeah. You are grappled. Everything is at disadvantage, and you take 10 damage as it is crushing around you. Jin, it is your turn. What would you like to do?
Halberd raises up again, and I smack down to try to hopefully end this thing. Come on. 13 plus 2, that's 15. Oh my god. If it's 16, it's.
And because it is grappled, you just do hit it. Yeah, so that is 13.
Plus 2 from rage damage.
Nice! Anything more for your turn?
Nope, nothing else.
Dale, what would you like to do?
I'm going to try and cut my associate free with the scimitar. Actually, I'm going to try and.
You're going to slash at it?
No, I'm going to try and take out another one of its tentacle legs with another bash attack. And
Okay.
then make a second and one with another War Priest strike.
19 does hit.
So that's 9 bludgeoning damage and 3 poison damage.
Okay.
And then second attack. Do I still have advantage?
No, a 10 does hit. That
Oh,
was
okay.
its AC.
Okay, nice. That's 7 bludgeoning damage and 4 poison damage. And then my turn.
Nice. Okay, Otto, you've just gotten freed by those attacks. The cake does not look well.
There's one candle left.
Yes?
Otto turns to the cake and grumpily goes prestidigitation and puts the candle out.
Do you do anything more?
I don't know. The piss bucket was kind of my last stand.
No. I mean, again, because again, when you get rid of that last candle, is there anything more you do other than just blow out the candle?
I think somewhere in the back of Otto's mind, they're thinking, man, I'm really going to need a drink after this. I wish I had a good beer.
A good what?
Beer. Like a nice solid ale.
Okay, as you do so, the cake goes, the last flame goes out. The cake is still standing, and you now have in your hand a glass of beer.
Ah, it's not supposed to work on cantrips.
Oh.
I'm going to save that for later.
How?
Just don't spill it.
Yeah.
Okay.
It would be wasted right now.
Yeah. You still have is there anything more you'd like to do?
I'm going to kick the cake.
Okay. Just give me an unarmed attack. That is enough. Now, how would you like to kill this cake?
Kick it over and then just stomp grumpily in the remains of the cake.
Well done. You now have defeated the cake.
This has been the weirdest day
Of our career, or I want to say life. Anybody else had a day weirder than this in their life yet?
I'm really hoping life.
Because I'm about to say, if you've had a day weirder than this in your life before this, then we gonna have some issues.
I'm gonna go take a nap until things don't taste like butt anymore.
Nothing is stranger than fiction.
Okay, so I take it you're wanting to have a drink and everyone take a long rest?
Yes, we head back and find a tavern with an inn and take a long rest.
The thing is you've defeated all the enemies that are in here. So you could just literally just rest here. And then
I just don't feel right.
Winifred would just, if noticing you guys, would bring you all like a little blanket and a little pillow and a little stuffed animal for each of you if you want to make a long rest.
Yeah, sure. I'll sleep in the remains of the cake. Claim my foe fully.
Ella's gonna go downstairs and just, I don't know, find a table that isn't in use and sleep on that.
You do.
Oh boy.
Anything else? Vernunia or Jin?
Not really.
Okay. So it's been a long rest. You all feel awakened. Winifred comes to each of you with like a little bit of breakfast on a tray, as kind of like you all wake up for a long rest.
Is it cake?
And no, it's eggs and sausages.
Okay.
Nice.
Thank the gods.
Thank you so much. And Otto, because it's been a long rest, you actually get to taste the eggs. It does
Still-
not taste like butts.
Still gonna tentatively like. All right, yeah. Just touch it vaguely with the tongue. Make sure. And of course,
Otto?
you prestidigitate the cake off of myself by this point.
Otto, what are you doing with your food?
I just have to make sure. Sometimes it's not right.
Why is it sometimes not right?
Well, magic is a fickle mistress. Sometimes she makes my tongue into a butt receptacle.
And sometimes it summons abyssal chickens.
You can't prove that.
I ain't had abyssal chickens summon around me unless I'm with you.
Well, we have a different set of experiences. Sometimes abyssal chickens just pop up. You don't know. The forces of hell are mysterious.
He's just gonna take a long sigh and go back to his food. So now what? We came here. We killed the cake. We freed
Winifred?
Winifred. Now what? Do we just head back and start writing the story, or what?
We take
Well-
a bow and leave.
Oh,
Unless-
leave. I'm down with that.
Well, you did have an interest in the one that made a deal that made this possible, didn't you?
What about a deal, guys?
They still around?
Well, not in this location, but in the nearby caves. Over in, like, the Mammoth Caves.
I don't know. You guys feel like going spelunking?
If somebody's making some kind of nefarious deals for demonic cakes, we should probably put an end to that.
Mm.
You don't even know when next time it's not going to be a cake. You come in here with a quiche, people could take real damage.
Sure, I guess.
Well, the quiche would have ranged attacks, unlike the cake.
There's still a story here. I can smell it.
Are you sure you're not still smelling the butts, though?
No, everything just smells like fondant now, actually. It's kind of unpleasant.
You sure you don't mean taste it?
Hey, listen, I'm just glad to be tasting anything appropriate these days.
So, to the caves then?
Would you like me to show you the way?
If you would not mind, we'd greatly appreciate it.
No problem. And with that, Winifred does show you. As you're going along, does anyone want to make a perception check?
Sure.
What's
Sure.
my perception like these days? Not good.
Ouch.
I see all.
Well, let's find out with the rest of the group.
Sure.
Okay. Well, we had 2 out of the group succeed. So the group does succeed. Dale, do you want to roll just to see to make sure you didn't get a nat 1?
I did get in that one. It's a 1 + 6, so 7.
Okay. So, now, as you're going along, Otto and Jin most certainly notice this, though Winifred does not. Sh- Distinct shadows seem to be following you as you're moving along. And because of that nat 1, and Dell, you are slightly suspicious it might have been that one single cake slice that couldn't be accounted for, or might be following you.
Eh.
Yeah, everyone else is assured you, no, like you destroyed it all, but you just still have the singing feeling. No, there's still one out there. There's still one left.
I'm gonna draw my sword, suddenly turn around and be like, "Hell!" Do I see anything?
Auto
Come
ducks your
at me,
cover.
cake! I
Oh,
know you're
shit.
still out there somewhere, cake. Yes, it was nothing. I get back in line with the others.
Actually, no, it is not. And 2 of the shadows reveal themselves. These are 2. Oh, clicked on the wrong thing. Sorry about that. Sorry for the inconvenience. There are 2 warriors. Look very much of like ornate metal. That's been made from the trees and such. There are 2 humanoids that distinctly do not look like a rat, but are clearly human.
Are they gnolls?
No, they are humans. They are clearly not a rat. Yeah. Yeah. Both of them have shields, on them, and 2 poisonous daggers on them. You can tell they're poisonous because they seem to be dripping a bit of green stuff on that from that nat 20. You clearly can see that.
I knew it. I knew we were being followed. I know when somebody's sneaking about.
Just not whether or not they're cake.
Now, does anyone want to try anything?
I've asked you, you creepers, what is it that you want with us?
One, like, puts down its shield and puts into the ground, scrapes it along the dirt before putting the shield right back on.
I'd like to. By all means.
Say again?
Zen, go for it.
No, I'm just saying what in confusion to what the heck they are doing.
I'm going to try to cast Detect Thoughts.
Okay. Roll me a d20 as well.
Yeah. No.
Oh, that's wild magic, baby.
And a 6.
Ooh, this is a fun one.
Oh no.
No, this is actually one of the playtest ones.
Look of concentration comes over Otto's face, followed by a look of shock and terror. And suddenly,
I need you to roll 3d6.
Oh no. If it's Abyssal Chickens again, I am out.
I will remind you, last time this occurred, you guys got a puppy in the playtest.
Hey!
So
Yeah,
let's
yeah.
see what happens.
Pretty good
We
roll.
have a 6, then a 4, and then what was the last one?
the 5.
5. Ooh. Okay, I have to Google this because I don't know what an ocelot looks like.
We get an ocelot? Can I name him Apu?
Well, we'll find out. An ocelot appears and starts to attack one of them.
Wildlife run!
Not you, but one of them, not a rat man. And with that, I would like everyone to roll initiative.
Oh,
And as kind of like you hear in your head is
From Winifred? Or for the
this is
the
from
ocelot.
no, this is from
oof.
the not a rat men. They are clearly not a rat.
Yeesh.
Espy is so fast.
Yeah, they're fast. Oh, I almost added extra 2s because you were just so dang fast. Okay, and auto 12. Dale 18. Okay. Okay, and I'm just gonna have it like on Otto's turn. The ocelot will do something, and because they are distracted by the ocelot, I'm gonna have them go last in the order. Thespia, what would you like to do?
So we entered initiative, but are they like threatening to attack? Or
No, they are clearly being attacked by the ocelot. They are distracted by that. So you could all, just if you want to, walk away and just ignore them, or you can take advantage of the situation and attack them.
We don't know if they're hostile or not, so
Yeah.
You know these people were clearly following you because they were shadows. That's something that Otto in particular had noticed with the 22 perception.
then apparently my
That's
net
all.
one paranoia is just like following you.
This is not our story. We should move on.
Could try to tame the ocelot as a show of strength, and then intimidate the ratmen with that display of power.
Or we could just walk away.
Yeah. Otto kind of kicks the dirt.
Not everything has to be about theatrics, you know, but I appreciate you trying.
Otto looks confoundedly at Thespia. Who are you, and what did you do with Thespia?
You'll
That
never
was just-
find out.
Okay.
Dale's just
So-
kind of standing at a ready, like with his sword out but not doing anything because he was still somewhat confounded that he was right. That someone actually was following him. Was like, what? Huh? Yeah, no,
Well-
not have any of this. He turns around and walks back to the group.
Okay. So, as the group walks away, is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. I
I'm
think
still
that's
keeping
it.
an eye out.
So as you walk away and we go to commercial break, this ocelot just is attacking these men that are not a rat at as you go to the caves. And when we come back from break, we will start the caves. And welcome back, you lovely people and you lovely players. Don't forget how lovely you all are. As we come back, we, we have this opening shot from the commercials break of a cave, and Winnie Fred going, well, I'm too scared to go in there, but that's the cave itself. Now, and but if you have any questions or anything, um, just say pineapple, and I'll be able to answer a question.
Why is there a prerequisite for asking a question?
Because out of character, this is them allowing them to do essentially like message, and for you to talk to them back and forth because they speak telepathically, and those they talk to telepathically, they after a certain time of communicating and being with them, such as you guys resting in their area for a long rest for about, that's allowed them to make that connection with you so that you can, for over a long distance, talk to Winifred throughout the time you are in the cave without them actually being in the cave because the cave's too scary for them. So anytime like you say the word pineapple, well, Winifred will be able to pop up. Hey, it's your boy Winifred. How can I help?
The voices in my head, they have a name now. Ah!
We have a Navi now.
Useful.
Yes. I wish you the best of luck. Take care, be friends. And waves a tentacle at the actual glove.
I would like to take the form of one of the Nada rats.
Okay.
Whoa!
So I'm just Not a rat now.
A little
Um,
bit heads up next time you do that, please. I'm still not used to it.
Oh, sorry.
Uh, just because I feel this is a disguise, like, can you give me at least a D20 to say how well you do it? Because you only got like a glimpse of them.
Can I give him guidance?
Yeah,
Add a D4 to that.
but this is just like a general, like. So 14. You're just like, it works, just as long as no one gets like right in your face. Yes, they will believe that you are not a rat.
Okay.
You'll enter this cave. It is large and kind of foreboding and rather empty. What would you like to do?
Otto's gonna kind of take the lead in front of the party to kind of sort of make it look like new prisoners, possibly recruits, whatever happens to be relevant to the situation.
As you step in, you know there's just like a very low light in here. Just barely enough like you guys can all see like about 10, 20 feet ahead of you, but not further down that much. What would you like to do?
Soren Cave. If we're trying to be stealthy, I can do pass without a trace.
That would certainly be helpful.
Do you cast it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll use
Cool.
pass without a trace.
So when everyone rolls a stealth check, you get a plus 10. So if you guys would like to continue in stealth behind the creature that looks like not a rat.
Sounds like a good start.
So that's a D20 plus 11. Cool.
Okay, so that's a 16 from Otto.
Yeah. Okay.
36.
Wow. Yeah, that's a 36.
Very nice.
And then a 29.
I am the net.
Dale, they don't even notice you. You're like, they cannot see you. You are the wind. No one can see you. Not even your fellow party members can see you. That's how stealthy you are.
You stealthy bugger, you. Next you'll be stealing your own pants.
Not only a natural 20, but a 36 total. I love boosts like that.
So as you move silently, without anyone really taking notice of it, you end up coming to a fork in the road. There are 3 directions, one to the left, one to the right, and one straight ahead. What would you like to do?
Do we have a light source?
Yes. Like, it's just light coming from outside. Like, there's small little holes. Everything is like you can see around you know, for like a short distance, but you can't really see that far deep. Like, for example, you couldn't see 50 feet ahead, but you can see what's nearby you, like within about a 20, 30 feet range, but not further down.
I'd like to light a torch and then mage hand it down each one of those corridors to the fullest extent.
Okay.
Hmm.
Which one do you do first?
Let's go left or right.
Okay. It goes down all the way, and you can see how at one end it goes from a very cylindrical design and with drawings that seem to be etched around the cave as the light goes along until it gets to the end where there's an opening for another room of cave where there looks to be some weird sigils or symbols in there, but you'd have to get closer to actually figure out what they are. When you come pull it back to you and go down the other way, it looks to follow the same thing with the actual uh, when it gets to the end, rather than there being a single thing of symbols or pictographs or whatever, there are three. And that's the kind of like it comes back, like etched along, like you are seeing very prominently. There are what looks like very hairy, like pigs, maybe, are actually like along the actual corridor as the light comes back to you.
So there's definitely traps down at least two of these, right? Things carved into the walls. That's never a good sign.
Almost certainly. If I know anything about these culty types, it's that they love booby traps.
What about straight ahead? Do you have the torch go ahead of you?
Yes. Sorry, I said left to right. So
Yes, that's
Yeah,
what
yeah.
I just described, those directions, and just not straight ahead. As the light goes straight ahead, it passed by a sign before going out completely.
do we hear the torch drop? Like, do I lose the mage hand?
No, like, again, just the light
Just the
seems
light.
to go out as it goes past a sign.
About how far down does it go out?
I would say, like, roughly about 60, maybe 70 feet straight ahead.
I'm going to cast Chill Touch and just send it straight down the hall. The range is 120 feet. Does it disappear? The spectral hand?
Correct me if that happens to hit mage hand. That's against your AC, correct?
No, I'm just throwing a spell down there because it said it went out.
Yes. So it would hit the mage hand along the way. So that's why, like, I'm asking.
In all the space of the entire tunnel, there's not enough room for the mage hand to go past it. I'm just trying to see if the
Well, you shot it out
spell went-
randomly, so like that's why, like, I'm seeing, like, does it get hit or does it go past it?
Well, if I'm
So-
trying to not hit it, does it go past it?
Okay, if you're focusing
will-
on not, yeah, you go where you know the path of the light did not go when you shoot it, and you hear ice hit against what sounds almost like an ornate door. Maybe it's metallic in sound, maybe silver that it hits against. But this is past the sign. So you know the torch went out maybe about 40 feet away, while this metal sound came from that additional 30 to 20 feet after the sign.
So, that's where the main event is, I'd wager.
That seems to be the destination.
Perhaps.
So you have a path away where there's a sign, and then after it, the light went out. Do you bring back the mage hand?
Yeah.
You just bring it back, and you notice like the torch is just out completely. So you have a sign one direction with a door of some sort going straight ahead. To the left and right, you see kind of like 2 rooms to go into. What would you like to do?
Who wants to go to the door?
That does seem like the direct route. I feel like it might be more dramatically interesting if we can come at them from the side, though. Maybe some kind of secret door down one of these other tunnels, one of these other rooms.
If we can even come at them from a side. If I was doing this, I would certainly want to have one way in, one way out. That way it's easier to corral and corridor kill them.
Oh, you didn't have. Oh, how sweet. You
It's
thought
also a
of
really
me.
good way to get caught in a cave-in.
Or we just cause a cave in at the entrance and call it a day.
I think my stuff would have to go pretty wrong before I could pull that off. But I like where your head's at. Do we maybe just want to seal this off and call it good?
I would not be remiss to it. I remember he mentioned caves last night, so I prepared a little something.
Hey, I'm curious. Those spores that you have, do those propagate at all, or are they just?
They propagate all over me. You see, there's a little bit here, there's a little bit there. They just grow everywhere.
But do they grow everywhere?
Oh yeah,
Could
they
you
grow
maybe leave some poison spores in here, seal it off, and then it's full of poison mushrooms, and then the problem solves itself?
Yeah, it doesn't work like that. Sorry. Trust me, I've tried to make it stay, but it just doesn't want to unless it's near me.
It's worth a shot.
I'm kind of like the mothership of them all, but... So who says we just want to cave in this cave? Call it a day.
Seems like a unique solution, and I'm all for it.
I will remind you, like, there is a sign that the torch did go by before there was any shenanigans with the light going out, so you do have that.
Cave in.
I think we should
lovely
take.
idea.
I think we should take the DM's hint to go check out that sign first. Who wants to check it out?
Who's the DM?
I'm talking out of character.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, probably oughta do the responsible player thing.
Hey, I'm just giving you the options. It is up to you to do it. You can choose whatever. You want to cave in, you do it. I have other options if you want to do that.
Otto will go check out the sign.
Does anyone else follow Otto?
I'm going to give him real quick guidance before he goes.
Okay.
We'll take all the guidance we can get.
Okay. With that, because I was just going to have you read it, but I'll give you like an extra thing if you do Arcana roll when you look at the sign.
I would like to burn Tides of Chaos to make that Arcana roll not disadvantaged.
It's okay.
My Arcana is my flaw. That is not at all disadvantaged.
Oof.
That's a 29.
He has to still roll the d4 if he wants. It's not a guaranteed 4, it's a d4.
I know that, but I was just going to go on that because it was a crit. Say it was, but okay. Instead, that'll be a 26. You actually notice that the sign itself has a bit of a spell for anyone that goes past it. That the actual trigger to the spell that would go off is if you pass by the sign itself. No. And that's probably what affected the torch, was going past the actual sign, put it out. But as you notice, like, it almost didn't seem to be in a way that was harmful. The sign itself says, "For who that dare them worthy, that wish to partake of a deal, for you can pass the test that I have set before you. The doors will open willingly, but for anyone who tries to get it by force, will answer to something far worse."
Let's blow it up.
Yeah, this seems like a cave-in solution.
Yes.
Can-
Best way to
is-
solve
is-
any problem is by negligence.
Is the sign attached to the wall or carved into the wall?
No, it's literally like in the ground. There's a sign. Like, this is handmade sign that is in common
I'm
to
going
make
to
it
carefully.
very easy to read.
I'm going to carefully pull the sign out of the ground. It's magical. We can find a use for it.
Okay, I did not see this coming. Well done. Do you
Swinging
take
the sign counts as someone passing it.
Nope. They, like, as for positioning, you are moving the spell, so it's anything that gets past you as you're moving forward, it technically will. Like, I would not have told you if you did that if you did not crit. So anything that
Yeah,
gets
I'm taking
literally
the sign.
past. So
Yeah. Yeah, this is ours now.
okay. Do you go back to the group?
Yes.
Okay.
Holding the sign behind me the entire time, facing away.
Okay.
Eshi, what are you doing?
Nothing good.
I love you guys. Nothing happens when you get to the group because you put the sign behind you.
Sign's magic. Figure it'll come in handy sometime.
Good point. What did it say?
Big theatrics. There's a challenge. The doors will open on their own if you try not to fight it. If you fight it, it'll be hard. I think we should just drop the cave on it.
Yeah, almost as if, like, if you go the other two routes, there might be a way to get through that door.
Haven. Now that would be more theatrical than whatever this pretentious prick seems to think of.
What could possibly be more theatrical than we stumbled upon the lair of this horrible cult and destroyed it, crushing them all instantly?
I mean, that's why
pretty
people
dramatic.
don't live in caves. I mean, don't live in a cave if you don't want to be caved in.
It seems like an obvious answer, really.
Don't be a cult, and that's why you don't leave survivors to tell people there's a cult.
When you try to be creepy, it comes back to bite you, you know?
Yeah.
Yes, and we all know creepy people deserve to be caved in on.
Really, this is just, karmic retribution.
Yeah.
We're just acting as agents of the universe.
Really
Well, what do
sounds
we-
like we're about to cave this thing in, so maybe we should
Totally.
get to it.
All right, back to the entrance, guys. I'm going to go ahead and just warm up my hands right now for this. It's going to take a minute.
So do you not want to even bother checking out the other two open parts?
I think we're at a unanimous decision here. I don't know about you.
I just want to make sure you're clear that you're wanting to bring down
Getting out of
cave.
here.
This is a loot-free zone. We're solving the problem and moving right the fuck on.
We're being reasonable people.
Practical solutions.
Creepy shit in a cave, no more cave.
Problem solved.
Man, I'm glad we thought of this.
We're
Oh,
so
boy.
smart.
I truly have no other
Good adventurers who are
answer.
good at things.
I have no other answer.
All right. Are we back at the cave entrance yet?
I think we're out now.
Otto is carefully negotiating to make sure that the sign never faces the party.
Okay. So as you come up to Winterfred, going, "Oh, did you find the rest of the wasp friends?"
Wait, what?
The bees are in there.
Well, yeah.
Oh, that's
The
why
one
we
that
were
makes
going in there.
steels took them.
Lost
Well,
cause.
Unfortunately, we couldn't find them. We tried.
Oh, you tried. Oh dear. Oh
There
dear.
w-
Oh dear.
There was a horrible accident. There was no saving them.
Yeah. And so, to avenge them,
We're going to cause a horrible
Hear us out
accident.
here.
There will be no survivors.
we're going to avenge the bees wherever they may be, and solving the problem very quickly and
Oh, dear.
immediately and suddenly
Oh my god.
and permanently.
So, out of character, this is what we're doing, right? I'm doing this. We're doing this.
If you can, then yes.
Okay, we're doing it. I'm going to go up to it, gently touch one side of the cave entrance, and cast Earth Tremor at 2nd level.
Okay.
It does a continuous 2d6 bludgeoning damage, and the land around it becomes difficult terrain. And I imagine that shaking it a whole bunch might actually cause a cave-in.
Unfortunately, no. That does not work. It does make a couple of rocks fall, but that is not enough to cave in the mammoth caves.
How big is this cave entrance? Just sort of asked. Is it like a small cave entrance, or is it like one of those big old fudge off ones?
Hold on 1 second. I got.
I was thinking we were
about
going.
that.
I was thinking we were going into a small little cave entrance.
No, this is the mammoth caves, and I'm gonna give you a second to think of another way. I'll be right back.
Well, see, I didn't know that. I thought we were going into a small cave, small entrance with like loose rock and everything. I didn't think it was like a mining cave where everything's really sturdy.
Warning, bad guys.
Well, the DM's away. I think we should probably just say, let's just go in and do what he had planned.
No, we don't have to.
We don't have to.
I say no.
The bluntness of that no.
We don't have to do anything.
Well, we're just otherwise going to walk away because he already said my 2nd level spell doesn't work on it.
We'll find a way.
Gotcha.
Hmm.
Oh man. Oh, that's great. That's fantastic.
Oh
Okay.
shit! Yeah, we have an ask the audience option.
Yes.
What
So-
would you like to see us do?
So what? You notice the Earth Tremor was not enough to
Well, I
take
wanted-
this down. So you're going to need to come up with something stronger.
Question.
Or
I did that thinking it was a small cave entrance and not a quote unquote mammoth cave.
oh, so did the Mammoth Cave not enough clue to state that this was very large and
See,
big?
first time I hear mammoth cave, I think of a cave I visited a long time ago that had a petrified mammoth in it.
Yeah.
I was thinking that was a tourist attraction, not mammoth cave as in it's mammoth sized.
You are right on both. That there is a possible mammoth in here that it's big enough for it to fit.
Okay, so then I wouldn't bother with Earth Tremor once I got back into like, oh yeah, that probably wouldn't work. I'm gonna need something much bigger, which I don't have. Looks like we might have to go into avenge him.
Like again, like you're either gonna need to figure out how to cast at a higher spell slot, or to figure out something more.
Second level is highest I have.
So
Hmm.
as a group, like again, like you'd have to use it maybe in combination with something else.
I can only hit things.
I have extend spell, but I don't know if I can use meta magic on your magic.
That sounds like you're gonna need to make a Arcana roll.
Guidance.
Oh, it's very fortunate. With guidance, you seem to find in a crate of what looks to be of fire spells. Each kind of like one of them doing like 3d6 damage. Yeah. And in there seems to be a lone dynamite stick. And this crate with lots of potions. Enough for each person to have at least one, which will do 3d6 damage, and a dynamite stick with what looks to be a long fuse, maybe,
How
in combination of things. Because like magic might work with our Arcana roll.
It's a good thing they were planning on doing some demolition soon.
Yeah,
So,
Let's speed up the process.
this is
Yeah.
this makes things a lot easier for us.
yeah, let's just get this in there then.
Right.
Let's
But you
set up
said
the
a thing
fire.
full of fire scrolls and one stick of dynamite.
Not fire scrolls, fire potion. Each
Potions.
one by itself would do about 3d6 fire damage. The explosive dynamite would do 3d6 bludgeoning damage as well expand. So maybe in combination or along with Earth Tremor and if with an Arcana row can extend the meta magic, might this work?
Sounds a worthy attempt. We'll
So-
bundle the potions up around the dynamite inside the cave, and then shake it until it all explodes.
Now, I still need that Arcana roll if you want to extend your meta magic to make that work.
Oh yeah. And I don't have any boosts.
Oh, that's about average Arcana. Can you give me some description? If you can give me a good description of how, I'll give you advantage.
After everything is all set up, and as Dell is going to cast Tremor, Otto is just going to kind of come up, kind of gather the threads of the weave around them, and just kind of wrap them around Dell, kind of trying to line everything up with the lines of energy that Dell's using to cast.
Ready?
Okay, give me another. That's with advantage. Let's see if we can do better with that. Another Arcana roll with advantage now.
Guidance.
That
take that
will
guidance,
work.
too.
You can extend the meta magic for that to work. The DC was 15, so
Cool. Once everything's set up, I'm gonna rub my hands together and be like, shake and bake time. Cast Earth Tremors.
okay. Since this is all you're at the mouth of the cave when it sets off.
I'm 10 feet back.
I need everyone to make a dexterity save roll as this cave explodes.
Oh God! Wait, I have danger sense, don't I?
Yes, and you all plan to do this, so
See this explosion. So,
that would be with advantage.
oh man, my dex is not good, so thankful for that.
21.
Nothing's better.
Unless I roll low, in which case I'm no longer thankful for it.
Okay. So, okay, I'm just gonna do that because here's the thing: that would have been 12 d6 because for each potion, and then you use the explosives to expand it. So that would be another 3d6 to explode. So that I would wager that's about 15d6 then. That makes sense to you guys?
None of this makes sense.
Well, it's a big explosion.
We're well into Crazy Town at this point.
Oh boy, oh boy.
What if
Okay.
we set the fuse and then I collapse dirt on top of it and then run?
Okay. Okay, so you have dirt that's around all of you as well. So you do additional tremors in front of you, so that way it'll soften the blow, correct?
Or we could just not do the tremors and back up as the fuse is lit and we just run and just see if the explosion does it. And then if not, go back and finish it off with the earth tremors. We'll use the dynamite and the explosion to loosen the cave, and then earth tremors, which does more if it's loose terrain, will finish it off.
I'm asking if you're using it to shield the crew in any way to hopefully lessen this from 12d6 damage. I'm trying to give you guys an option here. So if you can narratively explain how we can reduce it from 12d6 before I roll, I'm open for it.
Okay, I'm going to drop the dirt in between us with the earth tremors.
Okay. So you guys would fill half of that. So it's now down to 6d6 total.
Cool.
Okay.
Everyone okay with 66?
Is this for
Yeah,
trail?
Yeah, because this is the explosion. Like it's planned, so I'm giving you guys the option of you planned to do other things to make so that the explosion isn't as bad and won't harm you. So we have, does anyone else do anything to reduce the d6?
I can't do anything else. I'm casting the spell.
Yeah, that halved it. So we're at 66 possible damage that Jin is going to get.
I don't think we're going to do any other fighting besides this. I'm fine with it.
Yeah.
Okay, let's find out how bad Jin gets. So that is 26 damage to Jin, and half that to
Half it.
everyone else. So,
Oh.
oh no, I'm forgetting. Otto is included. They didn't get 12. Because sworn he did 12.
That's the enemy. I have 22 HP.
Well,
So you down?
Yep. I do have a pocket full of Goodberry jam, which will be handy in this situation.
Yes, so someone
Dust is
can't
all-
shove that in your mouth.
I'm just going to quickly instead just go over to him. Now that I see he got pretty blasted free, but I'm just going to cast Cure Wounds at 2nd level on him.
Okay, how many?
That's 2d8 plus 4. So that's 11 points of healing.
Okay.
Anybody else? All right, well, good. Let's go head back to town and get a drink.
Show up.
Good news. Now, you removed almost all of the combat. And I emphasis that on somewhat on like the big bad of this area had made deals and other creatures, so they're not as strong. So you guys have a chance to win, and it's
They're not handling it well.
yeah, like
You're
you're
the
not
one without
trying
a
to
cave.
persuade it. You're not trying to persuade or anything. So the frog somehow snaps.
Before
And
Snaps, I'm going to cast Charm Person on him. He needs to make a Wisdom 14 saving throw.
oh, okay. That is it is not good at wisdom.
That seems apparent.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have been harassing the person who had just brought down its home.
Okay, that's a 10. Is a 10 good enough?
Nope. Why don't you just go back into the forest where you came from, friend? We don't want any trouble with you today.
Okay. And walks into the forest. And unfortunate for you, out of the earth pop two ugly looking creatures. There's have two large head. Like if you took a good look on it, it looks like it has the head of a giant badger. Or-
Are these dire badgers? Do we know what they are?
No. I'm not even done with the. I'm reading just the description here. Here, it looks as though like it might have the brain of a person who likes to torture and eats people, the legs of a deer, the body of a hyena, put together and reanimated them with demon ichor without bothering to cover up the stink of death. Now, there are two of these creatures. And fortunately, we've already had rolled initiative, so I just have to roll theirs. Isn't that nice? I just got to roll their initiative.
where do they come from?
The
Innocent-
ground.
When did we roll initiative last? Wasn't it when we fought the cake?
Yep.
was-
It's when we
It
caught
was-
John Ratman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I told you it saved me from effort later.
I'm
Okay.
shortcut.
That's what we
So-
forgot to do. We forgot to blow up the ground, of course.
Not to blow up the ground.
So that did not go well. So we will start with Thespia.
I am not yet prepared for whatever's going on here. I'm just going to cure wounds myself.
Okay.
That's it.
Who do you?
Okay. Is that the end of your turn, Thespia?
Yes.
Dell, it is your turn.
Seeing as problems are getting real bad, he is going to activate Symbiotic Entity and then shift again. That is his action and his reaction, and then he's going to get behind Otto. Or Otto's the Barbarian, right?
No.
Oh,
Jin's the barbarian.
he's going to get behind Jin. My bad. So Wild Shape and Shifter, that's action, bonus action, and a little bit of movement, and end his turn.
Okay. Otto, what is your dex? Modifier.
12. Or 1.
Okay, so this goes before you. And seeing kind of like as Jin is the one everyone's hiding behind. Oh, wait, no, yeah. It goes and attacks Jin with a
Oh.
multi-attack.
Oh,
Yes. So, does a 17 hit?
yes.
You take 7 piercing damage. And
Ooh.
with that, I think you know what the mystery is. Let's change up the music. Let's make this a bit more actionary. As things just got serious with a 7 hit.
What?
Okay. Otto, it is your turn. And
I think Otto is going to spend their action jamming some jam into Jin's mouth so that Jin does not fucking die.
okay. So I believe that's 1 out of 3 charges.
4 charges.
Okay, yeah.
And it's
And-
2d10 health.
Yeah, 2d 10 plus 10.
Oof. Saved my life.
And as you're doing that, I will allow you to make any check to see if you can identify what these creatures are.
That's
'Cause
not.
you're spending your turn healing. Let's get some information out of you.
Might that be an insight?
If that's what you want to go with.
That's about the best I can do.
Okay. You can determine these two are large monstrosity chaotic evil creatures called Leortra.
The Ortra?
Yes. Leucrotta. Hey. And I will actually get to read you some fun information. The first Lucian came alongside the ghouls during Yorgo rampage on the material plane. Some of the hyenas ate the Yorgos. Kills went through different transformation rather than turning into gnolls. Among these results, Lortra were the most numerous. As clever as it is cruel, the Lich loves to deceive, torture, and kill. Before the Lichens are smarter and tougher than most gnolls, one can occupy an elevated position with a gnoll tribe. Although a Lich is unlikely to lead a group of gnolls, it can influence its leaders and might even argue you carry a leader into battle to offer advice during the fight. And you're getting to fight two of them that this frog creature seemed to have commanded. Anything else you'd like to do before ending your turn?
I think that qualifies as my actions.
Okay, Jin, it is your turn. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna bonus action rage. Your boy is hurt. And I need that resistance. So I was just struck by one. So I'm going to strike back with my halberd. Well, hopefully strike back. Apparently not.
No. An 8 is not high enough. But I'll give you, you can learn. If you can come up with a way to learn from this miss, I will actually give you the AC of these creatures.
Nothing's coming up for me right now, as I have been very hurt.
Okay. There's anything else you'd like to do this turn?
Nothing else I can do. I'm just stand there. Mad.
Okay. Now, the other creature seems to be just observing and noticed only one of you seem to devour something, almost as if that's the weaker of the group. And takes it does a thing before focusing on Dell to try to go in for attack. And since Dell is right behind Jin, I believe, correct?
Hiding, yes.
Jin, you get an opportunity of attack on this creature as it goes to try to attack Dell.
Okay. Let's try this again.
Do I as well, since I'm close enough to stick my fingers in Jin's mouth?
Yes!
Don't put it like that.
Too late.
The 15 does hit.
That's 10 plus 2, 12 points of damage.
Okay. And that 21 hits as well.
Oh, that's not the damage.
1 second, I'll do it for you. 6.
You got it.
Are you sure you want that 2 instead of the 6?
Yeah, we can go with your roll. That's fine.
Okay. And as you notice, kind of like the ground is starting to shift a bit more, as it's been becoming really uneven. And it goes in for attack on Dell. And it's just a bit angry and hurt, so it's going to multi-attack. Does a 12 hit you, Dell?
Nope.
Okay. Does an 8?
That's a no, too.
Okay. And does that end your turn? That does end its turn, and we're back to the top of round with Thespia.
How close are the two badger creatures to each other?
I'd say they have people, such as the players, in between them. So I'd say at least about 5 feet away. They seem very distracted, almost as if you could move away this Thespia without them actually attacking you.
Do I know if they're intelligent enough to understand common?
Why don't you give me a nature or survival check? You understand that they understand abyssal and null.
I'm going to yell, back up over here, because I'm basically behind everyone, and just basically saying, get away from the fog, and I'm going to cast fog cloud on both the badgers.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Is that poison cloud or fog cloud?
It's fog. It's obscuring vision.
Okay.
Does that also give us disadvantage or something?
Yeah.
So
But
we're
again,
running.
On your turn, you can.
Are we running?
That's what I'm basically saying. Get away from the fog.
Okay, so Thespia, are you using the rest of your turn and movement to get away?
Yes, it's more like buying time, if anything.
Okay. Is that the end of your turn then?
Yes.
Del.
So now I am obscured in a giant fog of cloud, which is going to give me all disadvantage on my attacks.
Well,
Correct? Correct?
It's a case where you have disadvantage and your opponent also has disadvantage.
Okay, fine. I'm just gonna run the same way they did.
Okay, so
Gonna take an opportunity attack. Again.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Does a 21 hit?
Yes.
Okay, you take 7 piercing damage as you go
jeez.
by one, biting
Cool.
into you, but just biting into, I'd say, your ankle as you escape.
Cool.
Is there anything else you'd like to do this turn?
I'm going to use my movement to get away, and then I'm going to... Did you use your action to dash as well?
No, it's not their turn yet.
The person who also ran?
Yes, that spearhead ran.
Thespia ran.
I
Alright,
used fog cloud, so I didn't dash.
so instead I'm going to turn around and throw... Can I still sense that I have a control over the frog from earlier?
No. It disappeared into the forest, and that was it.
So it just broke and it doesn't work?
No, what you did is it snapped. You did charm person. It ran into the forest, and it is no longer in combat. It is no longer about this. Like, almost as if what is happening is reaction to the snap, and is gone.
Okay. And I'm going to turn around and cast Toll the Dead.
Ooh, that's fun.
Wisdom 14.
Oh, I do not think they're wise. Dang it. Did not go through, did it? Oh, there we go. I do not think a 4 is enough.
2 necrotic damage.
Okay. And that's to the one that bit you.
Yep.
Okay.
Or whichever one was damaged. Was it damaged?
Yeah.
Was damaged in that case. That's a D12. 5 necrotic damage.
Okay. Is that the end of your turn?
Yep, I'm now over where Thespi is. Away from the fight. Running.
Okay. That one does have scent. And because it does have advantage on perception checks, let's see if it can follow you out. So this would be normal. Well, roll, not an advantage, to avoid the disadvantage. Okay, so 15. That'd be enough to track you and follow you out of the cloud. And what's your total movement speed?
30.
Unfortunately, it's going to catch up to you. And
Constitution saving throw.
okay.
As soon as I see it come out of the fog cloud.
That is as a reaction. Does 11 hit?
11 fails.
Okay.
7 necrotic damage.
No. That was on the hit because I need to do the Constitution now. A 5 fails, so that does take 3 damage.
7.
Oh,
It's
7.
2d4 because I have symbiotic entity active.
Okay. And it does hooves. Does that 18 hit you?
Yes.
You take 9 bludgeoning damage. Otto, it is your turn. What would you like to do?
I'm going to haul out of the fog cloud in the vague and general direction indicated by Thespia. And on my way, I'm going to magic missile the thing that's attacking Dell.
Oh, yeah, that means we got ourselves another roll. Come on, D20. Let's see if we got a magic hit. Oh,
That goes
6.
off. And a 16.
Okay. We'll deal with your damage first.
And I'm casting this as second level.
Okay.
So 4 damage total.
Okay. And centered on yourself, you cast Grease as you're moving forward.
I'm going to lean into it and see if I can torpedo myself into the knoll thing.
I will do that. Give me a 2d20 because I don't think you're proficient. But this will be with advantage. Like 2d20s. I do not think you are proficient at shooting yourself through grease.
I have a question. Isn't Magic Missile at second level for missiles?
It was 1 per.
Yeah. Like,
What?
there's still 1d4, but, like, I'll just...
Yeah. Sorry, my sheet is giving me trouble. I can't access my spell.
It says you create 3 glowing darts of magical force.
Yeah.
Oh.
And
And
so
it creates 1 more dart.
that's 1, 3... Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, this one actually is starting to look a little damaged, too.
Oh, yes.
But give me are you able to do /R 1d20?
Yeah.
Okay, just do that twice on.
Or you can do /2d20. Or just click the button on the side that says
Yeah.
D20 and then go over to 2 and roll 2.
So just give me one more, because I think you are... No, wait, you did 19.
That's it.
Sorry, you're
Yeah.
good. Okay, that does hit. And it is now knocked prone. One of them is knocked prone as you exit the cloud.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's not the one that's out attacking, but the one that was in the cloud is now knocked prone. So there's only one out there.
You said you wanted a torpedo into the one that was attacking me, or the one that was in the cloud?
I was attacking and casting and torpedoing into the one that was attacking you.
Okay.
Oh, okay. I thought you were in the cloud.
So
Sorry,
as
no,
he
I
was
was on the
running
way out.
out of the cloud after us, he magic missiled it, and then the grease appeared, so he slipped into it, knocking prone.
Yeah.
Yes. So
Good to know.
that one is...
That's the idea.
The one that's already attacked is prone. Jin, it is your turn. Jin, it is your turn. I believe you're probably muted.
I was talking to myself there. Great. So I'll run out of the fog.
Watch out for the grease.
Oh boy, fun. I probably run into that.
Okay.
If I'm running out.
Okay, I'll give you, if you are aware of the grease, you can aim it yourself at. So that way, like, as you are going to attack the one that's out of the cloud, you're using the grease to propel yourself. Would you like to do that?
Sure. Slide across and...
Okay, so you'll do your regular attack with advantage now.
All right, let's see. Why not? Advantage, come on. 17?
Yes.
And that's 7 plus 2 from rage damage, so that's 9 points of damage as I slide past, I suppose.
Okay, this is interesting. You do kill it, and the blood goes down into the cracked earth. And unfortunately for you, that from the earth breaks forth a barred devil.
Barbed or barred?
I believe bard. Bullezau. Median fiend. Barbed. Yeah. And as kind of like you've slain one, the blood through the earth, almost as if like, oh, maybe that was what was underneath and allowed the frog guy to actually make these deals, was this barbed devil that erupts from the earth. And I feel like that might be a good way for us to end this session right here, as a barbed devil erupts from the earth at all of you after you've slain one of these creatures. What do you think? That sound like a good place you'd like to end? Or would you like to try something else before we end the session?
Sounds good to me.
Seems as good a place as any other.
I've lost the ability to think.
Okay, then. I'll switch out the audio for our outro then. As we go around to our wonderful players, they're so nice. gave an ending I was not expecting. Did not think, because I had much simpler plans. I'd had a puzzle. You might fight it in a thing or two. You wouldn't have to deal with a barb devil at all. So thank you so much. Oh, such a beautiful class. Thank you. Just chef kiss. I would not have been able to have this ending without all of you folks and your choices you've made. Going around, let's go from Thespia first, then Jin, then Dell, and then Otto, going around the table, telling what was your favorite moment in today's episode, and where can we find you?
So my favorite moment was definitely triggering a cave-in, and yeah, I mean, that's exactly what I wanted and happened. And so when things go as planned, they always seem to make things a little exciting. And you can find me on Twitter, where I just like and retweet stuff.
Next, we have up Jin! Jin, the beautiful barbarian! And what was your favorite moment, and where can we find you?
I mean, the favorite moment has to be the cave-in. Just just completely, we're not doing this cave. Just let's all break it down. That's where you can find me. You can find me on Twitter at LTALIG. That's at LTALIG.
Thank you. Now we have the always shifting, the always changing Dell. What was your favorite moment, and where can we find you?
Are you talking to? I thought you were talking to someone else. Sorry.
Yes.
What was the question again?
What was your favorite moment, Dell, and where can we find the beautiful self that is you?
Well, I'd have rather you just didn't find me. My favorite part is probably when we solved the problem outside of the box, and DM was kind enough to oblige us with a source. And then he throws 2 CR5 level barb devils at us.
Only one, but that would be spoilers.
Oh, my bad. A 2 CR3 and then 2 CR5. Or 1 CR5, depending.
We started with a CR5 cake that you all beautifully defeated.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm Eshi. My favorite part tonight was probably a solid split, honestly, between the cave-in and Ocelot distraction. You can find me theoretically on Twitter, though unlikely, at Riddle of Indras. And here, come this Friday for another rousing episode of Where Things Go South.
Thank you. My favorite moment would have to actually be when someone figured out the wish on the birthday cake. That was one of those things, part of the monster I couldn't reveal. I was so glad when you started along that train to figure out, oh, I blow out the candle, I get a wish. I love that. Someone finally figured it out, because I couldn't reveal that unless I wanted to use it for nefarious evil. plans. Because that was, again, the creature can once per year use the wish.
I'm glad
It's
we
just,
put it to good use.
yes.
Oh yeah, I'm glad I blew it on a beer I couldn't drink.
Yeah. Now, where you can find me tomorrow with Zan's delicious vampire, where I get to be a very chaotic, disruptive Tabitha who just is fun. It's not like she's going to stab anyone in the neck. Nah, it's perfectly fine. And I'm on Michael Wayne on Twitter. And let's bring it back to the beautiful Raven to wrap all this up.
Thanks so much. That was certainly entertaining, especially the oh hey, a cave. There, we could go, delve into that and loot it and all this stuff, or we could just blow it up and solve the problem right there. I loved that approach to it. I'm always a big fan of blowing things up to solve it. But yeah, that was very fun to watch. Thank you everybody for playing. Thanks Michael for DMing, and thanks for everybody that spent guild coins. We're going to go on a raid, and then we'll be back at 7 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time, 9 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time for Empires and Epitaphs, run by Insanity TTRPG on Twitter. It's going to be a really fun game. We're, I believe, setting up the town that we just took back from some sort of lich last week. It's a very lighthearted game, and it's going to be a lot of fun to see what we do with this literal ghost town in that game. So be sure to come back by, again, at 7 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time, 9 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. And for now, we're going to go raid go_JG. Very fun variety streamer to watch. Definitely give her a follow if you are not doing so already. And I'll see you back later tonight. Bye, everybody.